There are some news stories in the gaming world that are huge and they're obvious and everybody talks about them and it's apparent why they're such a big deal. Then there are news stories that are just as big of a deal but are less apparent. They kind of go under the radar a little bit, and I want to talk about one of those news stories that happened this week for Vigor. A news story that in my mind is so big, is so large, is earth-shattering, ground-breaking huge, but kind of is flying under the radar. Now you might say to yourself, well, this news story is not really flying under the radar. It's out there, but it is flying under the radar with respect to what this means for Vigor, for the game Vigor, the Vigor team, and for what we as players can expect from Vigor in the future. What is this news story, you ask? Well, before we jump into it, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to this channel. I'm X1 the Gamer. We're dropping videos every week about all things Vigor, and we do stream live Tuesdays and Thursdays, so hit the notification bell and be informed whenever we go live or drop a video. So the news story this week is Tencent. That's right, Tencent invests in Vigor. More specifically, Tencent invests in Bohemia Interactive, who develops Vigor, but we can safely say that as a result of this, Tencent is essentially investing in Vigor, which is one of their games, and I think one of the most optimistic, one of the most bright games for growing their library, Bohemia Interactive's library, in the future. Let's go over the story here from gamesindustry.biz. There's a link in the description below where you can follow along and check it out there as well. Tencent has acquired a minority stake in Vigor developer, DayZ developer, Bohemia Interactive. The Czech studio is to remain independent, the announcement said, and will retain its existing management team. Tencent's investment aims at supporting Bohemia in bringing its PC and mobile sandbox game creation platform Wildlands to China. Mark Spinell, CEO of Bohemia Interactive, commented and said, quote, "We are pleased to deepen our relationship with Tencent, one of the most significant internet companies in the world. We look forward to working on our current and future generations of games with the support of a strong partner that has known us for many years and understands our unique approach to online games," unquote. Now the question here ultimately is this good for Vigor or is this bad for Vigor? I believe this is good for Vigor, but that's not necessarily the popular opinion. A lot of people think that this could be bad. And the reason that they think that this could be bad is Tencent is big into mobile games. Tencent has done a lot with mobile games, and sometimes mobile games can be seen as a cash grab, a cash cow. There can be in mobile games systems and mechanics set up designed to get you to spend money. And I think that's one of the biggest fears with Tencent investing is that Vigor's going to go that direction. And I completely understand that concern. I think those are legitimate feelings and worries to have that, hey, I love this game. I like Vigor right now. I don't want to see this go the way of this cash cow mechanic driven game where all they're trying to do is get money off of me. I really enjoy where it's at. I think it's at a nice balance. Or even if I don't think it's at a nice balance, I do think it's going to be headed in the right direction where it could be something special. It could be the right balance for me. Tencent coming in is this big, giant monolith. I mean, they're the biggest gaming company in the world. They could destroy all that. And that, I think, accurately summarizes a lot of the feelings of users in the Vigor thread on Reddit where this is being discussed. I think that that's some of the concerns that Redditors have. And while I do think those are valid feelings to have and worries to have, I don't think that that concern is realistic. I do think that Tencent became the biggest gaming company in the world for doing more things right than they did wrong. And so if you're worried about Tencent coming in and destroying Vigor and getting rid of it or bringing it to a point where it's just not going to be playable, I don't think that's realistic. I don't think that that's their intent, nor do I think they're this giant malicious company with aims of just destroying things. I think this is why Bohemia Interactive partnered with them, I think they have a ton of connections. I think they're the biggest gaming company in the world, and it's not going to hurt to make that strategic partnership. Indeed, I think it's only going to help you overall as a company and then help each of your individual games, or at least has the potential to help each of your individual games. So let's take a look at what the strategic partnership might mean for a game like Vigor. Let's start with mobile gaming. This is one of the big concerns on Reddit, that Vigor's just going to be made into this mobile game, or at least there's going to be this, half-ass attempt to make a mobile game to just get money because that's what people believe Tencent does to games. I disagree with this for a couple of reasons. Number one, even if there is a mobile game that is made and that mobile game brings in tons of money, we're still going to have the console version of the game. We're also going to have eventually the PC version of the game. So that's not going to change anything for current players of the game. All that it might do is add an extra avenue of revenue for Vigor. a place where Vigor can tap into more casual users and tap into that mobile gaming market. And this is assuming that they even want to do anything in mobile gaming, but let's assume that they do. I don't see it as a bad thing. It's a bad thing if they make a bad game on mobile gaming, but that doesn't affect the console gaming. I'll give you a prime example of this: Call of Duty versus Call of Duty Mobile. There's a lot of people that really like Call of Duty Mobile, and there's a lot of people that really don't like Call of Duty Mobile. But the people that like Call of Duty, number one, for the most part, don't play Call of Duty Mobile. Number two, even if they don't like Call of Duty Mobile, that doesn't hinder what they like or dislike about the main Call of Duty franchise or the console version, the PC version that does exist. So just because you have a mobile game, even if you don't like the mobile version of that game, doesn't affect the main game that you play on your console or your PC. What it does do is offer extra avenues of revenue for Vigor the game itself, and actually could result in improving your game because now your game has more resources for it and they can do things that maybe they otherwise couldn't have afforded to do. So mobile gaming, it's a mixed bag, sure, I recognize that, but overall I don't think it's a bad thing if they make a mobile game, and I don't think it affects us currently where we're playing on the PlayStation, the Xbox, the Nintendo Switch, and hopefully one day the PC. It won't affect that side of things. There'll be a mobile game, there'll be a main console game, and you'll have different users. You'll have a different user base in both and an extra revenue stream. Another thing that could be a possible strategic partnership for this is funds, servers, and development. Now, server issues have been a mainstay issue, especially if you're on the PlayStation right now. And let's be honest, anytime you get in with the biggest gaming company in the world, you increase your resources. You could have better servers, you can have better equipment, you have access to different things across the world that could affect Vigor positively. Now, it's not to say that servers and development aren't already going in that direction and aren't already being improved upon constantly, season in and season out. However, when you make a strategic partnership, you theoretically could gain access to additional funds, servers, additional development resources, and your game could be improved upon exponentially, especially with a big backer like Tencent. And finally, the thing that I see this as a big strategic partnership for Vigor is China. Tencent is a big developer, a big game company. It is known in the Asian world, huge. They dominate the Asian market, and this could be huge for Bohemia and games like Vigor to tap into the Asian market. Imagine 1 billion users, 1 billion potential gamers that you now have access to or could have access to in the future because of your partnership with Tencent. This is giant for any game company, much less a game like Vigor. More players means more revenue means better development. Better development means an overall better game for us. And so the Chinese connection cannot be understated here as a strategic partnership plus for Vigor. So overall, is this a good deal? Is this a bad deal? Now, there can be some negative aspects to this, of course. There can be in any business proposition, in any partnership, any deal. It could be bad for Vigor, but I don't think that that's likely. I do think that overall, this is good news for Vigor. I think overall, this is good news for Bohemia Interactive. I think overall, this means that Vigor has the potential to grow, and it's always had that potential, but now it's got a strategic partnership that gives it even more potential to grow to one of the biggest games, to grow to where I believe Vigor can be, and that is a top-tier, top-notch, strategic looting game. And it deserves to be there. I enjoy it. I like it a lot. I like the style. I like the arcade feeling to it. I like that it's not as serious as an Escape from Tarkov, for instance. And I think this partnership with Tencent sets them up well into the future, and we can see good things come from this. I want to know what you guys think. What do you like about this partnership? What do you do not like about this partnership? Am I overstating it? This is all conjecture by me. This is all hypothetical by me. This is all just my insight with zero knowledge on the partnership and the deal, other than that they have a partnership and they have a deal and that it was announced this week. I do think this is big news for Vigor regardless, and I'm very hopeful on it. Let me know in the comments though what you guys think. Again, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to this channel. I'm X1 the Gamer. We're dropping Vigor videos every single week. Love hanging out with you guys. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time.